Hello everyone and welcome to today's session co-hosted by VINCI AI and HDI. My name is Chrissy Jameson. I'm the VP of Marketing here at VINCI and I have the pleasure of looking after you all today. I'm actually really looking forward to today's session as we dig in and explore how computer vision is being used at scale to drive both cost savings and real safety outcomes at HDI. To give you some early context, HDI is part of VINCI, which is one of the largest construction and concession groups worldwide, with projects running in more than 100 countries and tens of thousands of employees. What we'll hear today reflects not just one company's journey, but may also have a broader play across VINCI sites and the wider industry. So joining me today is Camilla, Development and Tendering Director from HDI, who will tell us all about the deployment on the ground. And also Nico, one of our co-founders and co-CEO here at VINCI AI. So hello to you both.
Hi, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
So we'll focus on 5 live applications of Vision AI, the business case behind them, and also the lessons learned scaling across multiple sites. So let's get started, I think. Camilla, maybe you can give us an overview of HDI to start with.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chrissy, for the opportunity. So, like you said, HDI is part of VINCI, a global leader in concessions and construction. VINCI operates across transport, energy, and infrastructure. So, any innovation that be proven here in HDI, that has the potential to scale up wider across the group. That creates both responsibility on us, of course, and opportunity. At HDI, we specialize in a trenchless installation technique known as horizontal directional drilling, HDD, enabling to deliver highly complex construction projects. In most cases, it's starting from an entry platform, approximately 2,500 square meters, and our rigs can install over 1 kilometer of underground ducts. You can imagine in these entry platforms, the environment bring together a heavy machinery, multiple contractors, and tight delivery timelines. And all concentrate in a simple platform. Safety has always been a core commitment for us, but decided to explore additional ways to help our team stay safe behind the traditional approach. As in any construction site, traditionally, manual observation was one of our tools. Supervisors walk into the site, conducting spot checks, observation and integration systems, management walkthrough, among others. But this gave us an isolated snapshot, and they don't really provide a continuous visibility. In HDI, we are lucky that our personnel are mostly experienced and committed to safety, and transparency prevails. However, the current reality of the industry is that most near misses happen between audits, and unless someone reports them, it's like they never happened. So in VINCI, we realized that one of the 3 incidents were originated by a man-machine interaction. So this triggered us to explore other solutions that we could think outside the box. And sometimes the traditional method wasn't enough to show us how we were exposed to risks. And it also raised the bigger questions on how to eliminate blind spots and move from a reactive safety to a proactive prevention. So when considering our opportunity to make improvements for our team, computer vision stood up because it could provide real-time visibility and adapt to the unique conditions of each one of our sites. We weren't looking for a rugged, compact, and practical. That's where AI Vision offered us 3 things: real-time visibility, site-specific adaptation, and crucially, the ability to prevent, not just to record incidents. From this first point, I believe, when we get connected, we develop the causes from ground up. And we choose Visual AI as a partner because their approach was different. They worked with us to co-develop the uses directly from an operational pain point, and they built from edge, meaning no reliance on unstable connectivity. That combination of adaptability and technical realism gave us the confidence to move forward.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Camilla. That's a great introduction of everything. So Nico, how do collaborations like this typically kind of get started?
Yeah, I think when we first engage with companies like HDI, we often hear we want computer vision for safety, but that's very generic, right? That's like saying we want the vehicle for transportation. So the real question is, what specific journey are you trying to make? So with HDI, we started by understanding their actual pain points and needs. We asked questions like, where were near misses happening? What incidents were they seeing repeatedly? Where did their HSE manager spend most of their time? And the answers were not generic at all. They were very, very specific to HDI's operations, to their site layouts, their equipment, their workflows. So this means that we didn't start with the technology and try to find applications that fit that technology. We actually started with HDI's real operational challenges and built the AI applications that directly address them. And every use case we developed had a clear link to their to preventing either specific incident types they'd experienced or improving efficiency around safety processes that were consuming unreasonable resources. The other critical factor was demonstrating ROI from day one. We've seen across our customer base that using AI vision typically see up to a 70% decrease in regulatory fines and unplanned downtime. For HDI, the business case wasn't only about avoiding costs and reducing the exposure to financial and legal risks. It was also about enabling their safety teams to be more proactive, more data-driven, and ultimately more effective at keeping people safe.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you, Nico. Maybe you can also take us inside what the implementation looked like for HDI. Were there sort of any concerns, I guess, at the outset, and how did the team adapt to using computer vision in sort of daily operations, I guess?
Sure. So HDI rolled out use cases gradually, starting with one core use case, which is person under load detection. This involves alerting instantly if someone enters the danger zone beneath suspended load. Tracking this is critical for preventing catastrophic accidents, as even a brief lapse in concentration or awareness around suspended loads can result in severe or injury or even loss of life. So this was chosen because it tackled the most visible and serious risk. It also helped build trust, and crews could see immediately how the system prevented danger. Once that was established, we expanded pretty much step by step. And today we run 5 applications from just 4 cameras per site, connected to one single AI edge device per site. The second use case then focused on man-machine proximity alerts, especially valuable in blind spots where operators cannot see the workers. By instantly warning both operators and workers, this dramatically reduces the risk of collisions in high-risk zones where visibility is highly limited. And then the next use case is bentonite white bags detection, identifying clutter that may have been left around the site, creating potential trip hazards and potentially slowing down operations. Early detection ensures work sites remain safe and efficient, preventing avoidable injuries while also keeping operations running smoothly without costly delays. We then also implemented automated PPE compliance checks, identifying any workers not wearing helmets, vests, and gloves during or before entering specific areas. This safeguards workers while helping organizations maintain regulatory compliance and avoid, of course, costly penalties and shutdowns. And then finally, restricted zone detection, dynamically linked to the equipment status, monitoring areas only when they're active. I think at first, and also understandably, there were some concerns. Some workers worried that this was surveillance. Others feared that the system may overwhelm them with false positives. However, the way we managed adoption, I think, was absolutely key. We involved the HSE managers and teams from day one. They provided feedback, tested alerts, refined thresholds, and when false positives occurred, VISO and HDI worked closely together to fine-tune the system. This proved to the workforce that the system was adaptable and responsive to their input, so they have impact and can co-develop. I think a memorable moment for us all came just a few weeks into the project. An alert stopped a worker from stepping into the path of an excavator load, and the near miss would have gone unreported before. Seeing prevention in action turned the skeptics into advocates, and even smaller use cases like bentonite white bag detection became really powerful. Initially, some colleagues laughed at the idea of monitoring white bags, but within weeks, the HDI saw fewer blocked walkways, faster emergency access, and cleaner sites. So it also solved not just for safety compliance, but also for productivity issues, pretty much all at once in one system. So this iterative rollout and quick feedback cycle built the confidence. It showed teams that computer vision was not just another rigid technology-focused project, but a living tool that evolved with the sites. And I think the technology is an enabler for those tangible benefits.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Nico. It is really good to hear that we've been able to activate so many outcomes for the HDI team already. Nico, just staying with you for a little bit longer, maybe you can also explain what goes on in the background so that organizations can easily achieve sort of such great outcomes so quickly.
Sure thing, Chrissy. So I think what makes HDI's deployment so effective is its compact architecture. 4 cameras, 1 edge device, and yet multiple use cases. There is no reliance on cloud connectivity, which is critical on construction sites where network is unreliable. All the processing is done locally, so alerts trigger instantly and without delay. Equally important is that one camera can serve multiple use cases, as mentioned previously. For example, a single feed can simultaneously monitor PP compliance, proximity risks, and restricted zone breaches. That efficiency reduces costs and complexity massively. And finally, I think integration matters. We didn't create a new standalone system. Instead, alerts flow directly into HDI's existing incident management workflows. So the solution was rapidly and fully customized to adjust our pre-existing modules to what HDI actually needs. So this combination of resilience, efficiency, and integration is why HDI scaled successfully. And the lack of these details is where a lot of AI pilots stall or in a lot of cases even fail.
Yeah, that makes sense, definitely. Okay, so turning to some specifics and some outcomes. Camilla, what results have you seen since introducing VISO? And is there any sort of specific moment where you saw or started to see the value like really clearly?
Well, for me, the outcome have been both measurable and cultural. Firstly, with near misses. Of course, now many more near misses can be detected as previously. We spent some time treating the alerts as each one may be the opportunity to prevent a future incident. For example, we identified curing proximity risks at certain times of the day, normally after breaks or before the shift change. With this information, then we staggered schedules and reinforced the communication at those times. Secondly, we have also seen success in the workforce engagement. Like Nico was saying, initially, some of the people feared this was surveillance. And today, they understand that this tool is deployed to increase their own safety and safely coming back home at the end of the job. This is the ultimate goal for everyone, and that's what put this practice so enforced with the team. Next step forward will be related to the responsive times. As AI is getting more efficient, we expect that the supervisors will respond faster when alerts are live. Instead of hearing about an incident hours later, they can act in the moment. That will change the way our safety managers works. That's true. They will become more proactive and responders.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. So just to focus on some specifics, I know we've got a couple of slides. Maybe you can give us a flavour of some of the specific risks and related outputs and KPIs, perhaps.
So what you can see there is the number of incidents that were reported. Like you say, in the beginning, we had a lot that were related to not a real problem. That was the time of teaching and making the AI learn about our job site. That's the blue color. And the pink was the real unsafe moments. Then in December, there was decrease in the activity. So we can understand that figures are below the other months. And when you get to February, we start seeing that we have a bigger number of real dangerous situations being detected now. You can see we looking on the incident over time, we can see that HDI monitoring has surfaced 154 potential risks during the overall period. Out of these, 104 were confirmed as detected safe risks, meaning the system correctly identified the situations that carry out to no real danger, while still validating its ability to detect activity. Importantly, we have 49 cases were flagged as truly unsafe now and scaled for further review, giving us actionable intelligence and investigate and intervene before an accident occurred. Only one false positive was recorded, demonstrating both the reality and accuracy of the system when we put it in place. We can also see seasonal variations, such as the natural dip over the holiday period, like I mentioned, followed by a spike in January when operator ramp up again. Most importantly, detecting these meant that we were able to work with the team and bring incidents back down again. This ability to track patterns in real time helps HDI not only to mitigate the risks day to day, but also identify broader operation trends. Yeah, You see, this is something really important to understand the environment and what are the main risks and incidents that may occur. Break down the top causes of the risk provides deeper insight into HDI's operating environment. The most frequent issue was pedestrians coming too close to moving machines like excavators, highlighting the critical need for proximity alert and blind spot monitoring. Other risks such as person under load, near misses, and blind spot reinforced the importance of situational awareness, let's say, particular in dynamic high activity zones like the one we have in our sites. Less frequent but still important issues like pit danger and tagline risks indicate hazards that may not always be directly visible but still contribute to HDI overall risk profile. That's particular note of is that the material risk level, MRL, did not trigger any detection which were initially a genuine potential safety concern for us.
Okay, well, thanks, Camilla. That's great to hear. Nico, let's move on then to regulatory and efficiency benefits of the deployment with HDI.
I think from a compliance standpoint, HDI now has continuous audit trails. This means that inspectors can see proof of ongoing monitoring, rapid response, and improvement over time, and not just manual paper logs. That reduces risk and also often positions companies as industry leaders. Efficiency then is the other side of the coin. Of course, when there is no incident and projects run smooth, then projects run much smoother and without downtime. So for example, when PP compliance is automated, supervisors spend less time chasing the basics. When zones are monitored dynamically, equipment runs without unnecessary stoppages, meaning reduced downtime and more efficiency. The ROI isn't only financial, it's in building safer, more efficient and more respected operations. And as Camilla has said, that has a culture impact on workplace safety.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so maybe expanding on the ROI aspects, maybe you can give us some stats in a broader sense on sort of the measurable value of investing in AI vision.
Sure. So from an ROI standpoint, like a financial standpoint, the value of AI vision becomes clear when you look at both the numbers and the underlying safety science. So let's consider an example. Over a course of a year, organizations we work with might typically identify around 120 incidents flagged as near misses or potential collisions. Based on the Heinrich safety pyramid, for every 300 near misses, there are typically 29 minor injuries and 1 major injury, meaning that each near miss is a leading indicator of something far more serious. And statistically, those 120 incidents equate to about 12 minor injuries potentially avoided, each costing on average around $25,000 in medical bills, lost time, and retraining. That's a reduction of roughly $300,000 in financial exposure per year and per site. And beyond the financial savings, the impact is also in preventing injuries before they actually happen, reinforcing a stronger safety culture and protecting the organization's people and reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there's some big numbers there. Thanks, Nico. So, Camilla, what do you think has made this collaboration work so well from an HDI and VINCI standpoint?
I'd like to highlight 3 success factors. from our journey so far. First, leadership commitment. From the CEO at FKMRE to our all HSE managers on the offices, on the job site, this initiative was championed as a safety transformation, not an AI, an IT project. Leadership didn't just sign off on budget, they asked tough questions, communicated why this mattered to the team, and stayed engagement throughout. When site managers see the CEO prioritizing safety innovation, it changes how serious everyone takes it. Second point I would like to say is the iterative rollout. We didn't try to launch the 5 causes across multiple sites in one go. We started small with a simple, visible use case, refined it until it worked in mostly our real conditions, and then that's when we expanded. That approach reduces resistance, and they helped us build confidence and gave us the momentum with various success. The third point is the operational engagement as well. Our teams weren't passive users. They became co-developers. We had weekly calls, calibration sections, and feedback loops meant their input directly shaped the system. When a worker sees that their feedback reduces false alerts, that every week is getting better, they take ownership, and it built into their reality at work. Sorry, I had a problem with my camera. Hope to be back with you.
Yeah, it's back. Yeah, you're back with us.
Yeah. But well, from all of this, the biggest lesson is that success is only about 20% technology. The AI models do their job for sure, but the adoption and success has depended on the culture, trust, and the communication, which I think it's 8% that make it work. And looking ahead, I see computer vision becoming part of very fabric of how we manage safety. Today, this is 5 use cases that Nico explained. Tomorrow, it could be ergonomic risks assessments, predictive maintenance, or monitoring vehicle interactions in real time. What excites me is that one of the infrastructures is in place. When we have camera deployed and everything is ready, new use cases can be layered on a relative low cost. This means the technology evolves with us, growing from safety monitoring into a wider intelligence platform that supports both productivity and risk management. If we are giving the advice to others considering this technology, I would say start small, prove value quickly. So we need to pick a case that proves value and get the involvement of your team as early as possible. Don't position it as surveillance, position it as a tool to protect them, celebrate quick wins, and make like part of the journey. The perspective of the system will get as well stronger. And finally, if we could go back in time, we would remind myself not to expect perfection from day one. There is fine-tuning and testing that drive learning. Initially, some false alert happens, but there is always skepticism at the start. But that's normal. It keeps the focus on safety, outcomes and show continuous improvements, adoption. And as we show continuous improvement, the adoption will follow. We could also tell ourselves and others considering adopting AI vision to document those small wins earlier, the prevented incidents, the cleaner walkways, the faster supervision responses. They might seem minor in the moment, but they are the proof that points that we help us build confidence at now every level of the company.
Yeah, that's excellent. A really, really good overview. Thank you. Over to you, Nico. What else do you think helped overcome that kind of fear factor technically?
The key here, and for all of our pilots actually and deployments, I think, is realism. So construction sites, they are dynamic, busy, messy, noisy, and constantly changing. And we are purposefully tailored and designed for that reality. So cameras placed carefully, models trained for variable lighting and weather, alerts refined for accuracy. By starting small and proving value quickly, we reduced the anxiety, and once crews saw alerts preventing incidents, skepticism turned into support and even relief. I think that's how you move from fear to adoption.
Yeah, I really like that skepticism turned into support. It's a great statement. But I wanted to touch a little bit on privacy, as I know we worked closely together with HDI on this. And so, Nico, maybe you can tackle this one because we get asked this a lot. How do you deal with all things privacy related?
Yeah, so we are dealing with cameras, so privacy is absolutely essential to our clients and to us. Our solution ensures that our clients control and manage their own data, and we simply help them to get the best out of it. We are using Edge AI, which means that data is processed locally on site. Camera streams are not sent to the cloud, which is covering lots of the GDPR related concerns. We also only analyze what's necessary for as long as necessary in order to support safety. Additionally, we are fully GDPR compliant and ISO 27001 and SOC certified, the exciting stuff. We're also using object blurring technology to make sure that all data is anonymized. Then, most importantly, employees are informed and engaged in the process and approach, because transparency builds trust, and trust is essential, especially in addressing safety. And in many companies, including HDI, we work together with unions and workers' councils in order to ensure that they have a full understanding of the entire project, and that our main aim is to ensure the safety of the team. And we find this really helps a lot, that information is then not siloed in small areas of the business, but actually transparent to everyone.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks, Nico. Camilla, if I could turn to you on what's next for HDI's roadmap, and how are you preparing for scaling further within VINCI?
Yeah, so we are expanding to all of our job sites. We cited 3 is underway. Our managing director, Atef, has presented the results across VINCI, sparking interest from other divisions. We are preparing internal webinar, demo, and innovation showcases. So maybe this will be deployed in other companies of the group soon. But scaling isn't just technical, it's cultural and organizational. Like we said, we are building systematic capabilities, standardizing the protocols, sharing training and common dashboard across each site. That's what's planned now for the deployment. And for us, the next phase is embedded in AI vision into our DNA. We just completed our 40th anniversary, and we believe we are still in the top of the innovation since the beginning. And this is part of this journey. So AI vision is not just a project, but a safety culture shift.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you. And Nico, what about the kind of technology roadmap?
We are expanding into other applications that extend safety and productivity. One of these applications is ergonomic risk assessment, analyzing posture and movement to prevent long-term injuries. We're also deploying predictive maintenance by analyzing equipment utilization and changes over time to spot potential anomalies before they become failures. And then a third focus is vehicle interaction monitoring, managing basically the choreography of trucks and machines and workers in real time. All of these built on the same cameras and devices. That means that each new use case adds value at a low incremental cost. And the real innovation will come from, I think, cross-site analytics. So recognizing emerging risks across HDI, adjusting for seasonal patterns, and even linking with other data points like weather forecasts as an example to anticipate potential hazards. I think HDI is on track to be VINCI's center of excellence for AI vision, setting a model for others to follow.
Sounds great. Okay, so I'd like to shift a little to look back over at the journey so far. Camilla, what challenges have you and the team faced, and what lessons would you share?
Yeah, sure, Chris. I think I've gone through a few of that, but something I've not mentioned. The first challenge was environmental resilience. The devices had to survive dust, vibration, and weather change. The technology passed this test. The bigger challenge was and always will be a new technology for the people. Like I said, and we mentioned that some feared the surveillance and others doubted on the occurrence, the false positives, sometimes frustrated teams in all levels at first. But we overcame this by involving septism directly in calibration. When they saw their feedback reduce false alerts, they became advocates. It was funny. People were trying on site to play with the camera and see if it was spotted as a danger or not, or an incident. So all that creates like a good atmosphere, and this feedback help us as well. The lesson start with one. The lesson as well that I'd like to take is that we should start with one clear case, a clear use case, show real prevention and build trust step by step. And remember, this is about culture and change management. Communication and inclusion are just as important as the tool itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So Nico, looking forward, what does success look like in the longer term?
Yes, for us, success is when AI vision moves from a pilot to an accepted standard, when it's agile, iterative, measurable, and scalable. You don't eliminate the challenges, but you learn, you adapt, and you expand. And that's where true collaboration, I think, unlocks success. And that's exactly what HDI have done and are doing, turning an innovation into a capability embedded across their sites and soon further across the group.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we're coming to time. So Camilla and Nico, thank you so very much. My key takeaway is start small, prove value, and scale with the partnership together. And really, I guess above all, it's more than technology. It's about transforming that safety culture for good in organizations. So thank you to you both, and also to our audience. We have had some questions coming in throughout the session, so we'll move to Q&A. We'll do our best to tackle as many as we can live while we've got you here. Any that we don't get to, we will connect with you directly after the session. So, okay, let's start here. One for you, Camilla, I think. How long did it take HDI to go from pilot to scaling across those multiple sites?
Sorry about this camera bugging.
That's okay.
Again. And now you cannot see me, you can see the
Yes, we
blur.
can see you again. Yes, we can see you again. So I think we're good. Oh, we've just lost her momentarily. Maybe let me find one for you, Nico, while Camilla's technology is playing up. How about this? Can you elaborate on how the edge devices handle poor connectivity or power issues on construction sites?
Yeah, good question, because usually connectivity is always poor on construction sites. At least from our experience, it's the case in a lot of sites. So I think important to mention here is that all the heavy data, like all the video data, is processed locally. So we are analyzing all the video data locally on a edge device or a computer that is in the same network with the cameras. So even if connectivity drops, alerts will still be active, and incidents will then be uploaded once the connectivity comes back online. So everything is stored and processed locally. If we lose internet connectivity, it will stay locally, and then the raw data is uploaded once the internet connection comes back.
Perfect. Very reassuring for everyone. So Camilla, I think I've got you back. So I'll just reflect back on that question. You're on mute at the moment, so you might need to come off that. But how long did it take HDI to go from pilot to scaling across multiple sites? It's kept you on mute. No, we can't hear you. Okay, I'll come back to you, Camilla. Don't worry too much about it at all. I've got others that Nico can tackle anyway. Okay, Nico, can one camera really handle multiple applications effectively without losing any reliability?
Good question. So the camera stream can be used in different ways. So similar as if you have multiple cameras, the same stream of one camera can be split into multiple use cases without actually losing any reliability. So the main question is more around the compute resource that is available locally to handle multiple camera streams. But you can look at it like splitting one camera into multiple streams. It's like having multiple cameras available. So it has no impact on the reliability.
Do a quick test here with. Yes, we can hear you now. Would you like me to ask again?
It always happens when we are live.
That's okay, no problem at all. Right, so how long did it take HDI to go from pilot to scaling across multiple sites?
Yeah. No, the pilot took a few months. Let's say from when we started discussing to the first complete validation, it was less than 1 year. But it took some time because we need to make sure GDPR was compliant. We tested the different use cases we mentioned here and challenging detections. So after this first pilot validation, then we could deploy in a second job site until the end of the project. And now we are deploying on the third job site in another country, by the way. So when other subcontractors involved and other infrastructure. But yeah, the idea is now that we're developing now our project. So everything is going well.
Perfect. I'll stay with you if that's okay. what level of tech expertise did your teams need on site to manage the system?
Oh, that's minimal. Local team handled the basic tasks like positioning the cameras and checking connectivity, which with, of course, the help of Visual AI team and also the IT, our IT team always supported. Then we had a weekly follow-up meeting with Visual AI, which made us completely expert, let's say, in a much easier way with minimum of effort.
No, that's brilliant. I think that actually ties quite well into this next question. Is the system compatible with existing HSE management tools and reporting systems, or does it require a separate platform?
Well, I think it's designed to be flexible. At HDI, we connected the outputs to our existing HSE reporting workflows without replacing them. For example, alerts and analytics can be exported in formats that we can easily integrate into our incident reporting tool. And there is a separate dashboard which exists, and it's a complement for our own tools. It's more than duplicating. It's not duplicating. It's really complementary to our own HSE system. And also for our safety monthly newsletter. Now we integrate the AI detections of the key as a key event of the month. So it's quite appreciated by the team as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really, really good to hear. Okay, I'm just picking out, I think we've probably got room for maybe 2 more questions. Camilla, they're all for you, I'm afraid. Okay, let's try this one. What are the biggest challenges in moving from 3 to potentially 10 sites?
Well, I think logistics and consistency. Each site is different, so it's a different layout. So every time we need to get an update from the positioning and the identification of the blind spots. Then there is all this assessment of network connection, make sure that the system will be scanned and present full time, and different subcontractors. But like if one excavator was yellow in one job site and the next job site is green, we need to teach the AI that's the same object. But it's going well. It's not big challenge. It's things that need to be adjusted, but look normal for us.
Brilliant. Sounds great. Okay, and final question. How do you prioritize which new use cases to roll out next?
Yeah, I think we start with the highest safety impact, like we did. People under load and man-machinery interaction monitoring. That's risk assessment. Yeah, so you see your key factors of potential incident on your job site, and then you scale for that. And once those results are stable, and then you get the result, then you expand to more operational efficiency use cases, like we did for PPE detection and the storage on the job site. The prioritization is always driven by risk assessment and feedback from the team.
It's great. It's really good to know so many people are involved in what comes next. That's fabulous. Okay, I think we have to leave it there for now. But once again, thank you, Camilla, and thank you, Nico, and of course to all of you for joining this session. We will follow up in the coming days with an on-demand version for your reference or sharing internally. And of course, we will include invitations to our upcoming webinars for the next couple of months or so. In the meantime, please feel free to reach out to anyone at the VISO team anytime at all. And we wish you a great week. Thanks very much. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.